Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the explanation from series. This is season 1 part 2. Hope you guys enjoy. The next day the husband had to face the most brutal punishment in the village, that was to stay in the iron house for one night without the protection of black stone. To protect him, however, before the execution day, Boyd could not bear to lock the husband in the iron house. That way he would definitely be eaten by the demons. Boyd discussed with the priest, planning to spare the husband, but unexpectedly the priest fully rejected the appeal, because if the husband was not punished, the iron house would not be enough to scare the people of the village. This would make people uncontrollable. Boyd was helpless when he heard what the priest said. He could only curse and leave the church, but Boyd still did not give up. He returned to the house where the husband was being held, secretly throwing him a protection stone, hoping that the stone could save the husband's life. Boyd decided to go and ask the villagers to spare the husband, but the husband had lost his wife and children, so he didn't want to live anymore. He returned the stone to Boyd and said that he was willing to accept the punishment. At this point, Boyd knew that there was no way to save him. After the sunnet, the husband entered the iron house under the villager gazes. Boyd looked at him regretfully one last time and then closed the door. When locking the door, Boyd intentionally added another layer of lock. When the night was gradually falling, everyone quietly returned home. Only the husband was left trembling alone in the iron house. He looked outside and saw that there was no one there, so he breathed a sigh of relief. But the peace did not last long. Monsters and demons had begun to gather around the iron house. The sound of talking and laughing surrounded the iron house. They even transformed into the form of his dead wife and daughter, causing the husband's will to gradually collapse. He sat down on the ground and burst into tears immediately after the demons destroyed the iron house and ate him. The next day the town held a funeral for that family, but at this time a strange car arrived in town and attracted everyone's attention. The family of 4 in the car: husband Jim, wife Tabby, younger daughter Julia, and small son Ethan, also noticed the strange eyes of the villagers. Jim gathered up the courage to get out of the car and ask for directions, but no one answered him until he met Boyd. Jim asked for directions to the highway. Boyd asked him back that if he was bringing his family. Jim answered yes and saw Boyd was stunned for a few seconds. Then Boyd's expression became a bit unnatural and he said that just go straight. Jim thanked him and left. Jim's family continued driving through the dense forest. However, after driving for a while, Jim found himself returning to the village. Jim thought he had accidentally gone in a circle. He tried to drive forward again, however this time he still returned to the village. Jim's family began to worry. They decided to turn around the car, intending to return to the old road. However, while driving they encountered another black car driving in the opposite direction. The two cars lost control and crashed into each other. As a result, Jim's car was thrown into the bushes by the roadside. The owner of the black car was also seriously injured. The man tried to walk into the village. While going, he met Boyd and Deputy Kenny. He asked for help. He was then taken to the infirmary to have his wound bandaged. Although it was almost dark, Boyd still decided to go into the forest to save Jim's family. When he arrived, Boyd discovered that there was another man in the black car. He introduced himself as Jade.